Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnu Paramahamsa Parivadikacharya Ashtotar Sri Śrīmad Abhay Charnaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki Ganga Maya Yamuna ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani ki Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Vallabh ki Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai ki Harinam Sankirtan ki Granth-raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, and all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Gaur. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Dhyayad Mudirayed Nasta Prayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhagati Naistikim. We continue our readings from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 5, Canto 5, Chapter 5. The chapter entitled Rishabhadev's Teachings. Text number 21 and 22, right? Yeah. 21 and 22. So we have one verse in the board, so let's chant first and then we'll continue. Bhuteshu Viruddhaya Uduttama Ye Sarisprishpas Teshu Sabodha Nistha Tato Manushya Paramathas Tato Api Gandharva Siddha विभुनगाये भूतेषु विरुद्ध उदत्तमाये भूतेषु विरुद्धभ्य उदत्तमाये सरिस्पृष्पास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा सरिप्रीपास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्य प्रमथास्तपोपि ततो मनुष्य प्रमथास्तपोपि गंधर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये गंधर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये भूतेषु विरुद्धा उदत्तमाये सरिप्रीपास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्य प्रमथास्तपोपि गंधर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये भूतेषु विरुद्धाप उदत्तमाये सरिस्पृपास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्य प्रमथास्तपोपि गंधर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये भूतेषु विरुद्धाप्युत्तमाये भूतेषु विरुद्धाप्युत्तमाये सरिस्पृपास्तेषु सबोधनिष्ठा ततो मनुष्य प्रमथास्तपोपि गंधर्वसिद्धा विबुधानुगाये. So text number 22. Devasurebhyo magadat pradhana dakshadayo brahmasutastu tesham Bhava parasotha viranchi virya samat paroham dvija deva deva. Word for word. Bhuteshu, amongst the things generated, with and without symptoms of life. Viruddhebhya, then the plants. Uduttama, far superior. Ye, those who. Sarispripa, moving entities like worms and snakes. Teshu, of them. Sabodhanistha, those who have developed intelligence. Tata, then them. Manushya, the human beings. Pramatha, the ghostly spirits. Tatapi, better than them. Gandharva, the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka. Appointed singers of the planet of the demigods. Siddha, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka, who have all mystic powers. Birudhanuga, Sabibudhanuga, the Kinnaras. Ye, those who. Deva, the demigods. Asurebhya, then the asuras. Magdhavat Paridhana, headed by Indra. Daksha Adaya, beginning with Daksha. Brahmasuta, the direct sons of Brahma. Tu, then. Tesam, of them. Bhava, Lord Shiva. Para, the best. Sa, he, Lord Shiva. Atha, moreover. Virinchi Virya, producing from Lord Brahma. Sa, he, Lord Brahma. Matpara, my devotee. Aham, I. Dvija Deva Deva, a superior of Brahmanas. A worshipper of Brahmanas, or the Lord of the Brahmanas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Of the two energies manifest, spirit and dull matter, beings possessing living force, vegetables, grass, trees and plants are superior to a dull matter. Stone, earth, etc. Superior to non-moving plants and the vegetables are worms and snakes, which can move. Superior to worms and snakes are animals that have developed intelligence. Superior to animals are human beings, and superior to human beings are the ghosts because they have no material bodies. Superior to ghosts are the Gandharvas, and superior to them are the Siddhas. Superior to Siddhas are Kinnaras, and superior to the and superior to them are Asuras. Superior to Asuras are the demigods, and of the demigods, Indra, the king of heaven, is supreme. Superior to Indra are the direct sons of Lord Brahma, sons like King Daksha, and superior amongst the Brahma sons are is Lord Shiva. Since Lord Shiva is the son of Lord Brahma, Brahma is considered superior. But Brahma is also subordinate to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because I am inclined to the Brahmanas, Brahmanas are best of all. Purport. In this verse, the Brahmanas given a position of superior to the Supreme Lord. The idea is that the government should be conducted under the guidance of Brahmanas. Although Rishabhadev recommended his eldest son Bharat, the emperor of the earth, he still had to follow the instruction of the Brahmanas. In order to govern the world perfectly, the Lord is worshipped as Brahmanya Deva. The Lord is very fond of devotees or Brahmanas. This does not refer to a so-called caste Brahmana, but to qualified Brahmanas. A Brahmana should be qualified with the 8 qualities mentioned in text number 24, which as Sama, Dhamma, Satya and Titiksha. The Brahmanas should always be worshipped, and under their guidance the ruler should discharge his duty and rule the citizens. Unfortunately, in this age of Kali, the executive is not selected by very intelligent people, nor is he guided by qualified Brahmanas. Consequently, chaos results. The mass of the people should be educated in Krishna consciousness so that according to the democratic process, they can select the first-class devotee like Bharat Maharaj to the head of government. If the head of the state is headed by qualified Brahmanas, everything is completely perfect. In this verse, the evolutionary process is indirectly mentioned. The modern theory that life evolves from matter is to some extent supported in this verse because it is stated bhuteshu viruddhya. That is, the living entities evolve from the vegetable, grass, plants, trees, which are superior to dull matter. In other words, matter also has a potency to manifest living entities in the form of vegetables. In this sense, the life comes from matter. But the matter also comes from life. As Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Aham sarvasya prabhava mattah sarva pravartate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. There are 2 energies, material and spiritual, and both originally come from Krishna. Krishna is the supreme living beings. Although it may be said that in the material world a living force is generated from matter, it must be admitted that originally matter is generated from supreme living being. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. The conclusion is that everything, both material and spiritual, is generated from the Supreme Being. From the evolutionary point of view, perfection is reached when a living entity attains the platform of Brahmana. A Brahmana is a worshipper of the Supreme Brahman, and the Supreme Brahman worship the Brahmana. In other words, the devotee is subordinate to the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is inclined to see the satisfaction of his devotees. A Brahmana is called Dvijadeva, and the Lord is called Dvija Deva Deva. He is the Lord of the Brahmanas. The evolutionary process is also explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, chapter 19, wherein it is said that there are two types of living entities, moving and non-moving. Amongst moving living entities, there are birds, beasts, aquatics, human beings, and so on. Of course, the human beings are supposed to be the best, but they are few. Of these small numbers of human beings, there are many low class of human beings like Malichas, Palindas, Bodhas, and Savaras. The human beings elevated enough to accept the Vedic principle is superior. Human being elevated enough to accept the Vedic principle is superior. Amongst those who accept the Vedic principle, generally known as Varnashrama, presently known as the Hindu system. Few actually follows the principles. Of those who actually follow the Vedic principles, most perform fruitive activities or pious activities for elevation of the high position. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Out of many attached to a fruitive activities, one may be a jnani, that is, a philosophically inclined and superior to the karmis. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam beti tattvataha. Out of many jnanis, one may be liberated from material bondage, and out of many millions of liberated jnanis, one may become a devotee of Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dena Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tattva Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu vevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam bangam langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, we continue to hear very wonderful section of awareness, very wonderful section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. The teachings of Lord Rishabhadev. I was just looking at the each verses that is spoken in this the instructions in this chapter. I think in each verse, Srila Prabhupada have spoken many times. And if you search the Vedaves and everything, Prabhupada is very fond. And they're very sublime and very instructive, very powerful instruction that Lord Rishabhadev gives. So, just to the context, we covered today's verse. So this is, as I said, this is the teachings of Lord Rishabhadev. Now, Sukadeva Goswami had narrated all the lineage of the Uttanapad in the 4th canto. Yeah? 5th canto is the narration of the activities and the lineage or the line of Priyavrata Maharaj, which is the brother of Uttanapad. Now, as we heard, the activities of Priyavrata Maharaj. Priyavrata Maharaj had a son named Agnidra. Agnidra's the son was Navi. Navi's son is Lord Rishabhadev. So Lord Rishabhadev has how many sons? 100 sons. So Lord Rishabhadev now has taken his ruling, and as part of his ruling, as part of his to train his sons to take over the rulership, he has traveled. He's now taken all his sons and he's traveling. And where is he at the moment? Place called Brahmavarta. Yes, he's traveling, and at Brahmavarta, he is amongst the other sages, very learned personalities. He's sitting there, and he has his 100 sons. First, he instructs his sons to take instruction from all the saintly personalities. Now he himself takes and he instructs his 100 sons. Out of 100 sons, who's the eldest? Bharat Maharaj is the eldest among them. So he continues his instructions from the chapter 5, which is we're continuing, is the instructions of Lord Rishabhadev. So very first instruction of Lord Rishabhadev is very powerful. It's just straight away. Now he's not, like just putting down, just no mucking around, as we say. Straight away he gives. What's the very first instruction he gave? Can you remember? Yes. Sense gratification, life of sense gratification, he's giving an example of, like it's compared to life of hogs and dogs. Pretty. Just cut through straight, One who has been awarded the human form of life should not work hard day and night simply for a sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs and cat who eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerities to attain the divine position of devotional service. What a powerful. Nayam deho bhajam niloke ich kashtan kraman arhate vid bhujam ye tapo divyam putraka ena sattvam suddhe yasmat brahma saukyam tu anantam. Tapo divyam. So basically his instruction said, sense gratification and all that thing, it's not. Perform austerity and perform devotional service. Also, second one is Mahat Seva. Now his the second instruction he gives is serve the Vaishnavas. Very important. Taking instructions, teachings, serving. Mahat Seva dwaram ahor vimukte tamo dwaram yosit sanga sangam. Mahantastete samachitta prasanta vimanyamane suhrid sadhavoye. And take the association of the Vaishnavas or devotees. And he also says the other way, give up something. Yes, association of opposite gender. Even he said, not just the opposite gender, and those who are attached to opposite gender, they should be given away. Very powerful. So serve the Vaishnavas and then Stay away from the opposite gender. And then in the text 18, Guror na sasyat, svajano na sasyat. He's saying, if you happen to be in the position of leadership, or you're taking charge, those who have subordinate under you, then you are responsible. He's saying, don't be a spiritual master. Guru na sasyat. Swajano na sasyat. Even swajana. Swajana means your relatives, friends. If somebody is not practicing, you're still responsible. I was just thinking, okay, in a guru we understand. Now swajana is so large, so big, so huge, like extend how far can we, like Rishabh is saying, even swajana you're responsible for. Pita na sasyat. Father, mother, Deva. Even he says, even if you become a demigod, you're responsible. To So these wonderful teachings, he's continuing his teachings. So today's verse, now he gives a somewhat hierarchical structure. Where is he leading? Is, you see today's verse, he's now referring to, it goes from a very dull matter. So what's the first one he said? It's dull matter. That's also energy of Krishna. Yes? The rocks, the earth. That's energy of Krishna, which is dull. Higher than that is plants and trees. What's the difference between the rocks and the plants? Yeah, conscious, somewhat. But they have now a life. So dull matter to life. Trees and plants have got a life. They're superior. So, from the dull matter, stones is the fire. So, now these plants, what is the difference between the plants and the worms and snakes? The next level is worms and snakes. What's the difference? Yes. One, plants and trees are fixed. They can't move, none move. But worms and they got a leg. Now there are little more freedom comes to move into plants and So from dull matter, superior is that which has a life, is superior. From life, now it's fixed. Those plants and everything, they can't move. They are now, if they are put, the seed is put into one place, they're gonna grow and they're gonna live and they're gonna live there and they're gonna die there. Non-movable. And then from there, the next better is worms and snake, which now has got opportunity to move. If they are fortunate enough, they can come in a courtyard and they can get some spark, little prasadam. In that way, they are fortunate, isn't it? Even if they are in a spot, if they are in a temple room, they maybe see a little insect walking, just walking. But they're hearing. They're in front of the Lord. They can hear the holy name. So they are little better in that sense. They can move. They can go to a different place, and they may get opportunity to see a great Vaishnava, or may opportunity to get some prasadam. So they are little superior. So superior than that, animals. So little snakes and everything warm, they can go to a certain extent. Little ant, they could probably go few meters. They're lucky. Now, if you're an animal, you have better movement, greater movement. You can protect yourself better. Huh? So they have now gone to that higher level. So from dull matter, which has life, the plants, from plants to worms and snakes. Now next level is animals. Animals are better. So even the amongst the animals, those who are intelligent actually considered a little higher classification within the animals. Probably, cows, horses, dogs, monkeys, amongst the animals. So better the next level is from animal, human beings. Wow, it's a long way to come through to come to the human level, isn't it? Bhagavatam says, "Labdha sudurlabha bahusambhavante." After many bahusambhavante, some many births, you get the human form. Durlabham manaso deho, dehinam chanabangura. Durlabha, very rare. So you finally come to the human level, platform of human, become a human. Now, let's move up the ladder. Who's superior to humans? Ghosts. Why? Correct. It's mentioned in text, in the translation. So higher than human beings are ghosts, which Rishabda says, because they don't have the material gross body. That gives them a freedom of movement far better than human beings. Humans can't fly. If you have a subtle body, then you have a greater movement. Even they have extra power. They can do certain things. You see, people are they haunted by ghosts or something, or they get even some tantrics. They can control the ghosts, and they can do some miracle things. I've seen it. Done some. So I was just doing a little research, and it's like, what is Prabhupada's, in the Prabhupada books, what do we find on these different entities? How? So I've done little research, and it's quite fascinating to see, even amongst the ghosts, there is about 10 different types of ghosts. There's names there, huh? This is in Srila Prabhupada's. There's the chapter which Putana, discussing about the Putana. Putana is considered a witch, kind of. In that chapter, and then there's a chapter of Banasura, fighting with the Banasura. There's a whole text. So in this, Prabhupada gives about 10 of different types of ghosts. Huh? He says, Bhutas, Pretas, Pramathas, Guhyakas, Dakinis, Pisachas, Kusmandas, Betalas, Vinayakas, Yatudhanis, Kotaras, Revatis, Jeshta, Putana, Markata, Ushmanda, and Brahmarakshasa. Wow. Living entities got a different classification, isn't it? Wow. Even you go become a ghost, you become a different, there is a variety, there is a species there. God. And so of all kinds of ghosts, Brahmarakshas are a very powerful. Brahmanas transferred to a role of ghost becomes Brahmarakshas. So amongst the leader of the ghost, you have Brahmarakshas. You become amazing. Wow. So what's the next level up from ghost? Gandharvas. Who are the Gandharvas? Correct. Yes. Gandharvas are now, even from a Gandharva upwards, they are also classified as Upadevatas. So Devatas are full, they have full Ashtasiddhis in full, and Upadevatas have little lesser. So now Gandharva onwards, they are known as Upadevatas. So Gandharvas are very skilled and they are specialized in their singing the Vedic, or whenever there is a musical, whenever you see, whenever there's great feat is done by great personalities, these Gandharvas come along and sing and glorify that person. We'll see in Krishna's killing so many demons, and as Gandharvas are there out there showering flowers or singing, or you'll see this kind of. So these are the personalities. Huh? The musicians in the upper planetary systems are called Gandharvas. The dancing girls are called Apsaras. This is Prabhupada in the 3rd canto. In the purport mentions. The celestial species of human beings like Gandharvas and Vidyadharas can sing wonderfully and can entice even the mind of a heavenly demigods. This is from the purport on the 2nd canto, chapter 1, 36. Prabhupada is giving the definition of Gandharvas. What's next level? Huh? Siddhas. So Gandharva to Siddhas. Let's see what Prabhupada says about Siddhas. The Siddhas are inhabitants of Siddhaloka, where all are born with fully developed mystic powers. There is another planet inhabited by Vidyadhara Charanas who are expert in singing. So Siddhas. So they are more evolved, more higher as we go up. The residents up until Indraloka, or residents, those who are like Apsaras, Kinnaras, Siddhas, Charanas, they all reside in the planet. So we are in the Bhuloka. Then next is Bhuvarloka. So they are the residents of Bhuvarloka. The next comes Swargaloka, where the fully developed demigods. This is in the 4th canto. Prabhupada mentions in the purport. There are also residents in Siddhaloka who can travel in space without machines. Since they can go from one planet to another, they are called Siddhas. This is the Prabhupada's giving a definition of Siddhas. Next, Kinnaras. Wow, even the demigods, now even ghosts have got so many classifications, even the demigods have got so many classifications. Siddhas, Charanas, Kinnaras. So, and in Bhagavatam, in 3rd canto, I think it's chapter 20, it's given how Lord Brahma creates these. There's a description of how they create, how the ghosts even created, how the Kinnaras, demigods, where they come from. So the Kinnaras, one day the Brahma, this is in the chapter 20 of the 3rd canto. One day Lord Brahma, the creator of the living entities, beheld his own reflection in the water, and admiring himself, he developed Kimpurushas and as well as the Kinnaras out of his reflection. This is how the Kinnara was created by Lord Brahma. So the Kinnaras are next level. And Who's next? As mentioned in the translation. Asuras. Wow. I thought, somewhat, I wasn't the only. Asuras normally a low grade, but now they're above the Upadevdas. Asuras. What's Prabhupada's little? I found a little description of Prabhupada explaining the Asuras. Asuras generally they are the residents of Bila Swarga. Bila Swarga is the heavenly realm beneath us. So we have Dibya Swarga, which is above us, we are in the middle, and below us is Bila Swarga. So all these Asuras are the leaders or the Asuric, they are residents of the Bila Swarga. Prabhupada says, the Asuras wants to enjoy a life of sense gratification, even the cost of others' happiness. In order to fulfill this ambition, the Asuras, especially atheistic kings or state executive heads, try to equip themselves with all kinds of deadly weapons to bring about a war in the peaceful society. Prabhupada is referring to more of, like our leaders at this point, yeah. They have no ambition other than the personal aggrandizement. Thus, the Mother Earth feels overburdened by such undue increase of military strength. So, generally, Asuric has got a, but these, where Rishabh they're referring to is these Asuras who's got a higher mystical powers. They have extra powers, siddhis. So they are higher than the Upadevatas. So what's the next level? No, Rakshasas, they come under the category of the Asuras. So they're the same. Even amongst the Rakshasas again, yes, there are classifications. Asuras, Rakshasas, and I can't recall, but there are. So next is Devatas. Now moving up the ladder. So Devatas like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Surya, you name it. These now they are full-fledged demigods. They have more full Ashtasiddhi powers. And what is there? They are the administrators now. They come to of the universal administrator. They're coming to. So they are higher than Asuras. Now, higher than demigods? As per, Not yet. We're getting there. Oh yes, thank you. Amongst the demigods, Indra is highest, supreme of the demigods. Higher than demigods are sons of Lord Brahma. Yes. Who are the sons of Lord Brahma? Daksha, Kumara, Lord Shiva, Prajapati, yes, Prajapatis, yeah. Sorry? Narad Muni, yes. Any others? Sages? Saptarishis or 9 rishis? Brigu, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu, Angiras, Marichi, Atri, Vasista, Narada, Ruchi, Daksha Prajapati, 4 Kumaras, Swayambhu Manu, Shatrupa. They are direct sons of Lord Brahma. So categorically, they are higher than, as per the Shabdevs. Yes, Lord Shiva is also. Now, Lord Shiva is slightly in a different category, but according to Rishabhdev, because Lord Shiva appears from Lord Brahma, as he's considered as amongst the Prajapatis, amongst the sons of Brahma. Of course, Lord Shiva holds his own Shiva Tattva. So then, amongst the sons of Lord Brahmas, Lord Shiva is the highest. Yeah, even we go. And higher than Lord Shiva is Lord Brahma. Yes, now we come to Brahma. And then, higher than Lord Brahma is Supreme Personality Godhead. Lord Rishabhdev says, Supreme Personality, I am the higher than Lord Brahma. Now let's move. What's Rishabhdev saying here? Now he's saying, even higher than me is Brahmanas. See how Lord is very nicely, See, if you look at it contextually in the story, that he is trying to establish, he's now taking all these sons who's going to be rulers. Now, the strong message he's giving to his sons that you must take the directions and the instructions of Brahmanas. That's how you rule. That's this way it should be. So he's leading to this point. Now he said, okay. He categorized all these different levels. And then he goes, and he said, okay, higher than dull matter, then non-moving, then moving, then goes on to demigods and so on and so forth. And he goes all the way up to Lord Brahma, and he said, I am in charge of Lord Brahma. And then he said, above me is Brahman. Now, let's go into pages of third canto. Kapila Dev now gives the categories of Brahmanas also. In the 29th chapter, Lord Brahmanas are now classified. Even amongst the Brahmanas, there are classifications. This is in the third canto, chapter 29, text 31 and 32. Lord Rishabhdev gives a further classification of Brahmana. Now we have gone all the way from dull matter to Supreme Personality Godhead. Supreme Personality Godhead said, I am even respecting, or Brahmana is even higher in this context. Now, Kapila Dev gives a breakdown of the Brahmana's qualities. Even in that context, Lord Kapila Dev gives a whole, prior to this, he gives the similar. He gives it's higher than those who have a life, it's higher than those who have legs. Amongst the many-legged, there's four-legged. And he goes on, he brings to the human beings. Amongst the human beings, he said, those who are following the Varnashram Dharma is the best. And amongst the Varnashram Dharma, the Brahmanas are best. So he comes to that level. From there onwards, so this here, Lord Kapila Dev is describing. It says, amongst the human beings, the society was divided according to the qualities of Varnashram. And then amongst that, those who follow, amongst them are the Brahmanas. So now he come to the human level. In the human level, he said those who follow the Varnashram system, they're good. Amongst the followers of the Varnashram system is Brahmana. Now he breaks down further Brahmanas into, he said, now amongst the Brahmanas, those who study the Veda is higher. How many Vedas are there? 4 Vedas. 4 Vedas, huh? There's Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, Upavedas, Samhitas, so on. And So amongst the Brahmana, those who study the Vedic scriptures is higher. Now, one who, higher than that Brahmana, one who knows the actual purport of the Vedas is higher. So just being a Brahmana is not good enough. You study, then you're a little higher. Now, just studying isn't enough. He said if you have to understand, then you're a little more higher. Huh? So those, now, then next level is those who studied and those who know, but the next level is those who can actually dissipate the doubts from that scripture studies. Means amongst those who teach. So first you learn, then you understand, then you teach even higher. Huh? And then higher than that is those who strictly follow the Brahminical principles. So you should know what is there in the Vedas, and all the principles. You know how to do yagyas, you know how to do rituals, you know how to do deity worship, you know all this. So there's strictly those who are following the rules and regulations according to Vedas are even higher. And higher than that, Lord Kapila Dev says, is those who are free of material contamination, free of material attachment. Higher. Huh? Now, then Lord Kapila goes further, one more step. And he says, amongst all those Brahmanas, those who are pure devotee, who execute devotion service without exception of reward, is the highest. So, as we hear tomorrow's verse, I think what does it say? It says, "O respectful Brahmanas, as far as I am concerned, no one is equal or superior to Brahmana in this world." This is next text. Rishabhdev will be tomorrow's verse. So he's just bringing up to the point. He says, yeah, Brahmanas have got a very special role they play in the Vedic culture. In the Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada mentions specifically in the referring to a text number 24, which is coming up. Yeah, the next text. He's referring to the 8 qualities of Brahmanas. Does anyone know the qualities of Brahmanas? Similar, also in Bhagavad Gita, same. Generally, excuse me. What are the qualities of Brahmanas? Austerity, correct? Sorry, Patan Patan, Yazan, yeah? Tolerate, yes. Truthfulness, correct. Humility, yes, correct. Cleanliness is also yes. So it's specifically in this next verse is mentioned 8 qualities of Brahmanas. Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. There are Sama, control of mind, first quality. Next quality, Dhamma, control of senses. Control of mind, control of senses. Satyam, truthfulness. Anugraha, mercy. Tapa, austerity. Titiksha, tolerance. Anubhava, realization of God. Again, is referring to you have to know the knowledge of God. Sama, Dhamma, Satya, Anugraha. Anugraha means mercy. Tapa, Titiksha, tolerance, Anubhava, or the realization of God. You should know the signs. Brahmanas should know the signs of God. It's a quality. Again, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, since there is no guidance is taken, from Brahmanas, there is a chaos in the society. So what does Prabhupada want all ISKCON devotees to be? Be a Brahmana. There are many, many Vaishyas, there are many Sudras, many others. But Prabhupada wanted means learn the Vedic culture and teach others. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport again, a Brahmana is a worshipper of the Supreme Brahman. The Supreme Brahmana worships the Brahmana. As Shabda says, I worship Brahmana. Prabhupada is also saying the similar. In other words, the devotee is subordinate to the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is inclined to see the satisfaction of his devotees. A Brahmana is called Dvijadeva, and the Lord is called Dvijadeva Deva. He is the Lord of the Brahmanas. He is the Lord of Brahmana. So, as Kapila Dev mentions, he goes through all this classification of Brahmanas, and he brings to the point of being a devotee. He says, being a devotee is superior to being a Brahmana. So, consider ourselves, our fortune, that, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we're able to come to becoming a devotee. As Rishabhdev is classifying, we have to go through all these categorical classification, demigods, becoming a demigod, becoming a ghost, becoming an animal, becoming a tree, worm, name it. Then we get this opportunity to perform a devotional service. Even amongst being a human being, it's not good enough. If you become a devotee, why, you're lucky, you're very fortunate. And so whole Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is just giving us that message to say, take it advantage, don't waste. It's such a valuable opportunity. And by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, and this opportunity is made so easy for us. It's like put on a red carpet for us, As other day, who was mentioning, I think it was Karunanidhi Prabhu or something, I think it's Karunanidhi Prabhu, that everything that is given, all, they put down, everything is condensed, like nectar devotion, all the activities which was to perform, doing a Tulsi worship, worshipping the deities, and worshipping a spiritual master, all those mentioned in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is all Prabhupada has simplified and put it into a whole, our daily routine, structure and everything. So everything is there. So, we are eternally indebted to Srila Prabhupada, and we are being very fortunate to be part of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission in this Kali Yuga. So as Lord Rishabhdev says, be a Brahmana, even if you're Brahmana, be a Vaishnava, even better. So, thank you. So, any questions, clarifications, corrections? Yes, Madhji? Is that working?
One question and one comment, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
In the comment, it hints to me that
Not working.
being a brahmana can be understood mainly that being a devotee, because otherwise it won't be possible to acknowledge that superior position, because it said in the text that the brahmana is highest because the Lord has the inclination to fulfill, to satisfy the brahmana, because it's his devotee. So in that sense, we should understand brahmana come to be brahmana because it's a devotee.
Mm.
In that sense, because if we see, for example, in our tradition, Vaishnava tradition, many of the devotees, they are no brahmanas, so-called brahmanas in our Varnashandana. Many sudras, so-called sudras, but they are pure devotees. So in that sense, being brahmana can be understood mainly to be a devotee, otherwise it wouldn't be possible to reach that position of the preference
Mm-hmm.
by the Lord.
So just to repeat those here online, just to narrate, Madhumajari Mataji mentioning that yes, being a brahmana is a very high qualification, a very high position. But the brahmanas, those who are devotee, are better. But in general classification, generally we know the brahmanas are those devotees. They are even from Shudras or different they still become a brahmana. Brahmana is not, I think you're referring to, is not really basically from birth or it's from the qualification by guna. Yeah, it is correct. Yes, I should have mentioned that. Brahmana is not by birth. And in many, as we understand in the world, the practice of brahmana, the classification of brahmana is generalized into like birth brahmana. Or if you are born in a family of brahmana, you then become a brahmana, automatically become a brahmana. But our scripture does not support that. It is not by birth. It is by guna or qualities. Yes, and thank you. Yeah, it is the brahmana it's by not by birth. It is by yeah.
Even if the qualification is not paramedical,
Hmm.
can be sudra,
Hmm.
can be also, because it's a devotee of the Lord,
Hmm.
can be also placed
Correct. Higher than brahmanas. Yes. If a person, and that point is supported by your whole Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Kirata, Huranda, Pralinda, Pulka, Saina, all those who even born into a very low grade of human level, even it chants the holy name once is considered even higher than brahmanas. Those who are practicing actual brahmana, practical. So yes, devotee it's of course is higher. I mean the whole topic was brahmana, so I was more getting that. But devotee has got a very special place. It's not no matter what birth. If we really practically look at it in Prabhupada's teachings or Prabhupada's life, he's gone to the Bowery. I mean, in that, even in you could go graded down to the bottom rock. What is it called? Bottom of the ocean. See, you can't go any further down. Those are the people he picked it up from, and he made them a gems of the Vaishnavas. They made the Brahmanas even higher than Brahmanas, Vaishnavas. So they yes, Vaishnavas have got a very high, but yeah, it does not restrict. Vaishnava is not restricted. Okay, so you have to have these, then you become Vaishnava. Vaishnava can be from any background. Then and even chant the holy name once is considered a Vaishnava, according to us. So they are they're very special.
They obtain that higher position because it's God Himself who is giving that, because His ability
Correct.
to His inclination
Yes. Yeah, even in the Purusha Sukta it is mentioned that Brahmanosya mukhamase. He said all the offerings that Lord accept through the Brahmanas, through the Brahmanas.
If you allow me the question, it seems to me, at least in the sequence of the teachings of Lord Rishabhadeva, he's from the very, very beginning, so stops and gratification, understand the purpose of life. It's not just for material enjoyment, sense gratification, austerity. Take shelter in the gardens of brahmanas or devotees. So it is to me that it's more like an emphasis on avideja, because we
Seems to be, sorry?
more emphasis in avideja in the process,
Mm-hmm.
because we have samvada, avideja, prajoja.
Mm-hmm.
Until now it's no emphasis, or it's not clear that the goal of life is to obtain prema bhakti. It's not defined yet, but it's in the process itself.
Mm.
So my question is, it's because it's implied that everybody knows already the goal of life, so you don't have to tell them what is the goal of life, just identify the way how they can go because they already know, or because the guidance of the brahmanas, they will gradually learn what is the goal of life.
Mm.
This is the one how we can understand in this way.
See, if you're contextually looking at, if you're looking at what Rishabhadeva is doing, he's teaching his sons. He's going to be a rulers, right? The rulers are meant to be taking guidance from Brahmanas. So he's coming from that kind of approach, and then he's giving that instruction. But even in those instructions we have heard so far, he said, Tapo Divyam. What is the goal of life? Do austerity for what? May not be a direct, I don't know, maybe it will probably come further in instructions, but it may not be direct. But there is a goal, the prayojana the goal is also there, but it is more contextually, he's gearing toward his teaching in the realm of Vedic, he's teaching the sons. So yes, they are there, but not like directly, like you'll hear the instructions of Narad Muni saying, or Prahlad Maharaj saying, just do a devotional service. But contextually, historically, it is in that realm, he's giving instruction to those sons who are going to be rulers. He's coming in that, so he's giving, according to the audience, he's giving the instructions, as I understand. But of course, there is a meaning. Of course, he's leading it to, they're intelligent enough to understand that the whole Vedic principle is to ultimately serve the Lord. That's what he's giving. He said, give up sense gratification. What is it for? For the pleasure of the Lord. Do the austerity. What is it for? For the pleasure of the Lord. So he's giving instructions, may not be very direct. They're not saying Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Shmaranam, Padasevna, Artanam. He's not going, saying do this. But he's giving that in the frame of that, as I understand. But of course, it's there, hidden.
You mentioned it according to the audience, so it's
Yeah.
an ordinary audience, so we can understand that knowledge
Yeah.
is already the implicit knowledge about what is the goal of life, who we are, and who is God and the relationship with God. So now it's trying to see the ways how to reach that goal.
Correct, yeah. Eventually they will come, yes. Yeah, any other questions? Just before I wind up, we just heard the very sad news of passing away of one of our Vaishnavis, the mother of Riyad Bhanu Prabhu and Mataji. Yeah, this morning, 2:00, she's passed away. So we just take this opportunity to pray for a departed soul of mother of Riyad Bhanu Prabhu. So let's chant the holy name 3 times on her name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May Radha Vallabh take that soul of Mataji and engage in her in his service wherever she is gone to. Shri Radha Vallabh ki jai, Shri Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bo.